Um, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here, and it's a pleasure for me to be here too. First of all, I would like to thank TED for inviting me and Abu Dhabi University for holding such an event. This is a very important event for us all, and it's also good for us to share our experiences and talk about them. Well, I don't know if you read about me in the brochure. My name is Suwaidi, and I'm an Emirati artist, a curator, recently a fashion designer, and a mother of 5. And I'm taking my master's degree in arts and culture at the moment in XCT, sorry, Abu Dhabi University. And many other things. Also an entrepreneur. I own my own multi-brand boutique here in Abu Dhabi. So to start with, I'm not planning to bore you with all the little details, but I'll try and share with you my experience so you could also get inspired and you go and do your own thing and dare to walk your own path. My story started since I was a little girl when I was raised by my aunt when I was 3 years old. She lived most of her life in the UK, so when she came back in 1983, it was completely different than now, of course. And the Emirati women back then weren't as open-minded as nowadays. But she was different, and she raised me, so I think this is one of the reasons why I'm a bit different. And I do so many things in my life, because she inspired me. She was an artist, and she loved to draw, she loved to design, she loved to do, she used to do every little dress for me that I wore in Eid. And back then, we did not have many fashion designers, so every woman would go and buy her own material and go to the tailor and design it herself. So she used to do that for me and for my little sisters. And from then, in 1996, when my cousin in Sharjah, she majored in graphic design, that's when I was introduced to digital art. That's when I was introduced to graphic design and the entire world of computers. And I said, this is fascinating, this is amazing. I could just have my own computer, install the software, and start my own thing. So I begged and begged until they got me a computer in '96, and I was the only girl in school, in class, who had her own computer, and also had internet. So that was amazing back then. And I installed the Photoshop and started learning on my own. I got CDs, I got books. And in 1998, when I was ready to go into college and major, I told my mom, I was like, I am going to study graphic design. And she said, what? I said, graphic design. And she was like, why? She says, I love art and I want to become an artist one day. And she says, how many paintings are you going to sell to feed your children? And how many galleries are you going to show your artworks in? Are you sure you're going to sell works? Are you sure you're that good? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And I said, you know, I'm not sure, but I love it. And as long as I love it, I know I'll never get bored. That's number one. And number two, I'll give it my best. I promise that I'll give it my best. So then my dad asks, okay, what's the major in college that teaches graphic design? And I go like, communications technology. So he said, so media? Because yes, no daughter of mine will study media. Cameras and filming and things like that. And then where are you going to work? I said, I don't know, but we'll see. He goes like, no, you will not. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. And the next day when I went to college, I signed in communications technology. So I go back home, and my dad goes like, tell me, what did you do? I said, I signed in communications technology. He's like, what? Didn't I tell you no? I said, you know what, it is my life, and this is number one. I respect you, I love you, you're my dad, but at the end of the day, I have to major in something that I will not get bored in, and also that I'll be excited to wake up every morning and go to study it. Because if there's no excitement and if there's no love for it, then why am I doing it? Just so I can get a degree? That's not the reason why I want to study in the first place. So he said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, just do whatever. So then he sees me carrying a camera and going out and shooting, and he really doesn't like the idea, but you know parents how they are. Your kids, they love it, and they just let it go. So after that, when I graduated in 2002, I got offered a job in Abu Dhabi Media Company, Abu Dhabi Television, as a graphic designer. Did graphic design, did studio design, animation work. But while I was doing that, when I was a student, I was already freelancing. So I had my own website. I did design banners and logos for companies, for people, for friends. So I already established a history there. So when I graduated and went into the workforce, I didn't let my job take over me. It was my job and my career on the other side, my personal thing that I do when I'm at home. So I did not stop. From there, I was like, no, there is something else other than graphic design. It's not only graphic design, there is something else, I'm sure, where I can go and explore more and express myself more. I have more to tell. I have things to say.
Sumayyah, she's sitting
with
here.
all the events and I'm sure all of you, during your day, you go through so many things. You meet new people, you have fights, you fall in love, all of these things. So you want to come home and express them somehow. Maybe talk to someone. But if you don't have someone to talk to, or that person is not free for you all the time, you want to do something else to bring it out. So I said, graphic design is very limiting for me. I have to think of something else. So then I was introduced to the digital art world. Books, magazines, websites. I read articles about digital artists, digital painters. And I was like, this is amazing. Maybe I should try one or two. So what I did was I tried 7 paintings for Sheikh Zayed, the late Sheikh Zayed, Allah yarhamah. And those 7, they sold out. I have enough, in a month, I sold them all. And I said, you know what, this is amazing. One of my paintings sold for 4,000 dirhams. Wow. You know, this is extra on top of whatever I do at work. And with that money, I can produce more and then go ahead and do more. So since 2001, when I did the collection, I had my first exhibition in 2003 in Abu Dhabi. Then until today, I'm still an artist. I did 2 solos and exhibited in Hong Kong, in America, the Emirati, the UAE embassy in the US, they commissioned me for an artwork, Burj Khalifa, and so many other places. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to say, just dare to walk your own path, dare to do it, believe in yourself. Don't listen to everybody around you who tells you, oh, and what, and why. As long as you really want to do it, this is you, and it's all about you. I think you've seen images of my paintings at the back. You've been looking at them. It's not very clear because of the light, but yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. And I hope you
Thank you, Sumayyah. MashaAllah. Sumayyah.